Tip number 121, and this would be problems firing employees. You should take the time to understand all of the local, federal, state, any other entities who could get their hand into this. You've got to understand the rules and play by them. You shouldn't stray from them. These rules are there to protect you as the employer. If your employee says something or does something and you're required to write them up 3 times before firing them, you'd better make sure you do that. Now, a big problem in the construction industry is that we kind of tend to do what other contractors do. I knew a lot of contractors who hired people and fired them on the spot. You're hired, you're fired. You know, someone comes looking for work. Okay, I'll see if you can do that. Can you, build that roof? Yeah. Okay. Can you joist that floor? Yeah. Okay. If you can do it, great. We're going to use you. If you can't, you're fired. Get out of here. You can't do that anymore. And for those of you who are still doing that, be warned. All it takes is one person to sue you. And now you owe money that, let's say that it took you 10 years to save. All that money's gone. This isn't going to be a good thing. So be aware of that. You've got to understand all of the rules and requirements right across the board. Taxes, insurance, hiring, firing. You've got to understand all that stuff. And there are ways around it. Like I said, some of these ways you can actually hire people on a temporary basis. You can get people from temporary employment agencies. There are a variety of different things you can do to protect yourself. But if you don't have the information, you don't understand what the requirements are of you as the employer, then you're not going to be able to make these decisions. So again, I can understand it. Like if an accident happens on a job, someone gets hurt and it was an accident. This does happen. But when you come to ignorance and not taking the time to understand what rules are required to hire and fire employees, this is a totally different ballgame. This is just stupidity. So think about that. And again, I don't want to sound too harsh, but realistically, if that's what it takes to get some of you to actually look into this stuff and get the right information, the information you need, and it actually saves you one day, then that's what I'm here for. I'm doing my job as an educator, someone who's providing you with a little bit of information. Obviously, I'm not providing you with all of the information, but I'm hoping that I motivate you to find more information. And this just doesn't, isn't just going to be about watching my videos or reading this book. You've got to educate yourself on as many things as you possibly can about your business. More stuff you know, the better off you're going to be. And it just doesn't relate to business. So keep that in mind. But as far as business does go and hiring and firing people, let's don't forget, you do not want to be the person who fires somebody and you end up spending the next 10 years of your life working for that person because you're going to have to pay them money while they're laying on some beach somewhere soaking it up because of some rule that might not have made sense to you, but it obviously would make sense to you after the fact. When you're making payments to these people, or you got to hand over $100,000 or $200,000, it's going to sink in. This is going to be something you're never going to forget. So let's not ever let it get that far.